How do you do this? We're live. We're live. All right. What is going on, y'all? We are live on Instagram. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. Life is good. Whew. So let's talk off. Performance gains. Well, hello. What's up, man? How are you? I think we.
Hey, Rigel and other people.
Rigel and other people. All right. So, what's up, family? What's up, Mike? How are you? Let me click on these when I click on them. When I read them. Good evening, the cutest triple savages. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. Rigel's the cute one. All right. So let's dive into a little discussion on mindset around viewing food as fuel, predominantly food as fuel. So we live in a society in which food is this comfort. It's like a celebratory thing. It's like a scapegoat. It's like a drug. And I don't want to demonize food in and of itself, because obviously food's very important for our survival, procreation, all that good stuff. But I feel like we've come to this point where food has been put on a pedestal to the extent that it has power over us, where we should truly have power over it. And that's not good. I think using food as a way to bring people together can be healthy. I think using food as a, like a central, relational thing could be fine. But when you give it the power and put it on a pedestal of like letting it be your comfort whenever times are rough, or reaching for it when you need to deal with anxiety, or becoming like a drug-like tendency with it, that's not good. And I feel like that's kind of what we're empowering it to be as of late. I feel like it's weird that as a society, people get offended if you don't eat what they eat or don't eat what they make. Like that's not good. It's not a healthy relationship with food, in my opinion. I think in that context, viewing food primarily as fuel that's designed to power your body and allow you to function is always the priority. It's always the way you should look at food primarily. Anything beyond that in a healthy manner is a plus. Anything beyond that in an unhealthy manner is a negative. Anything you want to add to that?
I think that was really great. I still enjoy food as a pleasure. For Robert's birthday, I made a cheesecake with like a cookie crust, and it was delicious, and I enjoyed every single last bit of it. I think that it definitely can be used as a pleasure thing as well, but I think we've gotten so used to it being a pleasure option that we forget that it literally is there to fuel our bodies. So when I see on social media or something like that, people are like demonizing other people's nutrition, or saying I can eat whatever I want as long as it fits. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to do this, that, and the other. Why are you so strict? Blah, 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 blah. I think that's the really dangerous way to view things. And I think that it can be really harmful for people who are trying to change their mindset, because food is literally to fuel your body. That's why we eat. That is the whole reason why we eat. And as humans, we've made it a gathering place to where we gather to, he is just not having it, to where we gather with each other to have conversation and enjoy each other's company and things like that, which is totally fine. I enjoy that aspect of things too. I like to invite friends to dinner or whatever. It can be an enjoyable thing, but you need to be able to see food as being fuel for your life in the first place. I recently had someone tell me that I was missing out on life because I choose not to have things like pies and cakes and things like that. I'm not missing out on life. I'm fueling my body properly and feeling really well, so that in those times that I want to enjoy, I can, without having the guilt, knowing that the food that I made, the dessert that I made, the thing that I made around the table is healthy, and I'm making a good choice for my body. I think that should be your mindset first, and then second comes, how can I enjoy this with other people, or how can I enjoy this for celebrating or whatever.
Yeah, if you ever find yourself like having a hard day, stressful day, a tiring day, an anxiety-induced day, and then like your thoughts are around food, like, oh, I really just want to like snuggle up and have some ice cream on the couch. Like, that's not good. Like, that's not healthy. That's a negative relationship with food that you need to come to grips with, be honest with yourself on, and work to improve, because that's not where your mind should go. I mean, you literally can't use it as a drug. Like, it's weird because like alcohol is a drug. Cocaine is a drug. People hear those things, they hear the terms addictions tied to them, and they're like, okay, yeah, that's not a good thing for your body. Your body's not benefiting from alcohol or cocaine consumption, so that's an addiction. You should probably skip out on it. We don't have that view towards food, because food is obviously a requirement. We all have to eat. So there's like this unspoken thing of like, oh, food is all good. There are no bad foods. Everything in moderation. But I disagree with that. I think if you can have an addictive relationship towards any substance. That's true across the board. You can have that with drugs, you can have it with alcohol, you can have it with smoking, you can have it with sex, you can have it with pornography, you can have it with food. So if you have a poor relationship with it, then be honest with yourself, have that self-awareness, and improve that relationship. Boom. All right, what else we got?
Hi, y'all. Hope things are great.
Greg, what's up?
I'm getting over a sickness here. Whatever I had, I don't know what it is, but
she had a whole bunch of angel food cake. She was dealing with some food tendencies. She had a relationship with food that wasn't good, and she ate a bunch of angel food cake, and now she's feeling poorly.
That's not at all true. But I do have some sort of cold thing going on, so excuse me for sniffling and such. You want to like change his position?
Sure.
Not that one. Not that one. Yo, Savage Gang. What up, Greg? Someone else said, "What's up, Greg?" Hello from Cincinnati. Just looking like a normal human. Goodness gracious. What's up, Savage Fam? Glad to see this eat to live and not live to eat discussion. You guys rock.
Yes, indeed.
When do you think that'll start? I don't know.
Since the commercialization of food, or further back, royalty was seen by them being obese and was fed in medieval times, etc.
It was saying, when did it start?
Yeah, I don't know when that started.
Me either.
Yeah, I honestly don't know that. That's a really good conversation, actually. I feel like that could be a campfire conversation that lasts hours right there.
Yeah.
I think it started with options. The moment we had too many options as a society, that's normally not a good thing. Like when we were forced to find food for survival, and you don't have options, it's like you got to eat to survive. You don't really have the luxury of thinking about food as this drug that you can just indulge in. But once you have options, once you live in this time of plenty, and you don't have to be disciplined, I feel like it bodes for letting people overindulge in things.
The last thing in today's world that people should be offended about is what people eat. Things need to change, but who knows when it will. This is very true.
100%. Who's that, Daryl?
Yeah. You can be like me and be addicted to keto bricks.
Keto brick addiction does not count. It's totally fine.
Haha, Robert, I told my kid the same way. Get the same reaction. I hold my kid the same way. Same reaction.
Let me get through some of these. Good evening. Oh, I read that one. Hey, Savage, glad to catch you live. What is up, Pat? Real Food Nanu. Did I say that right? Food is fun, not good. Food should be fuel. Food should be fuel. Greetings from Spokane, 32 degrees. We used to live in Spokane. Spoke-a-Bear. That's pretty cool. We used to live in Spokane. How many years ago was that? 5? 6? I find if you eat food as fuel, but you are having a stressful day, then this food may not be satisfying.
I find if you eat Food is fuel, but you're having a stressful day, then this food may not be satisfying.
It's like if I was to eat a ribeye after a stressful day, like for me, when I'm stressed out, I don't really like my way of solving that stress doesn't come from food.
Mine does.
It
I
does.
snack a ton.
Yeah, but it's not good.
No,
It's not good.
it's not.
I tend to just work harder. Like I'm a workaholic. That's my drug.
Yeah, Robert would just like not eat. When Robert gets super stressed,
I don't eat. Yeah,
he does not eat. It's really bad.
it's not good for bodybuilding.
Definitely not good for body. Like I have to remind him, like you have to eat in order to grow.
Yeah.
This is, we all know these things, but when you're stressed, it's really hard. When I stress, I want to eat all the things and I want to snack, and it's not like good healthy food that I want. It's like snacky things that I want. I actually cut nuts out of my diet completely because other than nut butters, because I don't really feel that way with nut butters. But I cut nuts out of my diet completely. One, because it didn't make my gut feel good, and two, because I couldn't stop eating them. So it was just a bad thing altogether. But I can recognize that in myself now and realize when a certain food is not serving me well. One, it didn't make my stomach feel good, and two, it made me feel like I could just keep eating. Cut it out.
All y'all on YouTube that are always asking us, how do you build a booty? You see this right here? Look at that. You can't see it on Instagram. See that booty? He's like 5.5 months old. He's got a donk. How does he build it? He hadn't been doing squats yet.
He does have a diaper on, but he does have a really good,
he
good
got
little
it from
booty.
his mama. Isn't it like a song like that?
I got it from my mama. Mm-hmm.
So that's a song.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
I think this happens when economic levels increase. I have traveled to China and Thailand, and so many just want a meal. They just look at food as nourishment.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree. Hit that next one. Stressed Megan equals eats all the cheese or keto brick.
Right there with you.
That's great for my bottom line in sales of keto brick, but I don't want you to be unhealthy with the keto brick. I don't want you to have a negative relationship with the keto brick, or any food for that matter. So when you get stressed, Megan, you just do like 15 burpees instead. All right? Get stressed, do 15 burpees.
Do better when track and have a plan. Yes, totally agree. That's it.
That's all
We're
she got?
15 minutes in, guys, and it is hotter than I'll get out in here.
All right, we got one here. I mean, the same food that is highly satisfying under normal conditions becomes unsatisfying when stressed or tired. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's like insatiable. Like people just keep eating it. All right, I am on carnivore diet, and I just had my blood work done, and my LDL is 327, which doesn't concern me. I lift weights every day and feel amazing, but my doctor thinks I am crazy. Are you concerned about cholesterol levels, and should I be concerned? I believe an insulin resistance and inflammation is really the root problem for heart disease. Your thoughts? Can you hide that so that I can just not cover this? All right, let me preface this response with I am not a doctor and I don't want to play one on the internet, so always consult your healthcare professional. That said, I tend to agree with you. I do think inflammation is the root cause. If all of your inflammatory markers have decreased, I would say that that's great. All right, we're still here, right? Yeah.
Oh.
Not sure what happened there. So, yes, I tend to agree with you. I think inflammation is the root of all evil. I don't necessarily think it's a good thing to just like throw caution to the wind and not be concerned at all about elevated cholesterol levels, because there are certainly correlations that suggest that elevated cholesterol could be causing adverse effects long term. I would be interested to see what your HDL to LDL ratio is. If you have very low triglycerides and your HDL is pretty high, that's comforting. I would probably talk to like a lipid specialist within the low carb space that is reasonable and not biased, not overly biased.
Yeah, actually, Temple, what's her?
Stuart?
Yeah, what's her Instagram?
The ketogenic nutritionist.
Yeah, the ketogenic nutritionist. She actually just shared a link yesterday, today, sometime. Of it's on Diet Doctor's website, and it's actually a really good search engine for finding someone near you that could like look at labs, doctors that are familiar with low carb diets that could help you to understand your labs with a low carb diet. Whereas the average doctor, not all of them, but the average is going to be basing it off of you eating a standard American diet, which in that case, I probably would be concerned. But also making sure that you're eating a very clean, I think they were kind of, yeah. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, if you're not like eating a very clean ketogenic diet, but you're obviously carnivore, so that's great. But just wanted to put that out there too. So bad.
Team says depends on if LDL is high, but triglycerides and HDL levels and ratio are good. Yeah, you definitely want to see how all those correlated. A coronary calcium score would be helpful as well. I definitely agree. I feel like whatever reason, coronary calcium scans have become somewhat controversial as of late. But a lot of the concern for elevated cholesterol and consuming saturated fats is that you're going to have atherosclerosis and blockage of your artery. But if you're getting a coronary calcium scan and there is no blockage in your arteries, then you can kind of rest easy in that regard. But again, I'm not a doctor, don't tell on the internet, so I don't want to step on anybody's toes or give people. I don't want anybody to throw caution to the wind. Like I am not a lipidologist. Lipidologist, that is a word. This is not my area of expertise. You guys are great. Thank you, Kevin. Check with a cardiologist. Yes.
Yep.
Not enough doctors seem to distinguish between type A and type B LDL, aka the light and fluffy versus the tightly packed and dense LDL. Yeah, on that note, a generic lipid test that's simply measuring for LDL, HDL, and triglycerides does not really tell you much at all. Like you definitely need to get a particle size test. There's a lot more to it than just simply generic LDL, HDL trig test. So definitely dive deeper than that. 100%, Matt. What do you think of the triple B and E? So bacon, butter, beef, and eggs is the triple B and E, popularized by Ken and Anisha Berry. They're the ones that started it pretty much, I'm assuming. Yeah, I mean, that's a great elimination diet. Eggs are incredibly nutrient dense. Beef is incredibly nutrient dense. Butter is a great source of dietary fat. And beef,
bacon
butter,
tastes good.
Bacon tastes great. So yeah, I think from an elimination diet standpoint, that would be great. I would probably not want to do that indefinitely. Some people do, and they're totally fine with it, but I'd probably not want to do that indefinitely personally. All right, what do we got over here? Daryl says, I'm starting a new program through my work medical called Verta. Verta Health's great, ketogenic-based medical program to help type 2 diabetics and more. That's awesome that your company is forward-thinking enough to jump on board with Verta. Verta Health is great. They've been doing amazing work, so I think that is awesome, awesome news, man. I am on dirty keto and have one cheat day a week. I continue to lose weight. Can you explain this? Sure. I mean, I don't know what your caloric intake was like prior to doing dirty keto, but if you're doing dirty keto and you're having one cheat day, but your overall caloric intake is still at a net loss, that would explain why you're still losing weight. But dirty keto and a cheat day is not really optimal. So I would suggest that you reframe your thinking from what can you get away with and still lose weight to what can you optimize for and not just simply lose weight, but improve your body composition. So improve muscle tissue, better muscle retention, and improve fat loss.
Yeah, totally agree with that. I feel like if this is step number one, perfect, keep going. If this is something that you've been doing for a while, I would definitely try to clean things up a bit. Because dirty keto with a cheat day isn't going to be the best for your health. It's just not. You're going to get a bunch of fillers. You're going to get a bunch of canola oils and seed oils and vegetable oils and all of the junk that you don't really want because it's packed in those crap food products. You're going to get a lot more junk for for what you could be feeling you could be feeling way better than you do now simply by just cleaning up the foods. But everyone's on their own journey, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if this is just the start for you, then just keep going. Just keep doing.
Sheesh.
He doesn't like to lay like that.
He doesn't like to do anything right now.
He does.
Except make noise.
It's just I'm hot. I'm like sweating.
Did you finish that one?
Yeah. So if this is step number 1 for you, keep going. If you've been doing that for a while, maybe even though you're still losing weight, maybe just try to clean up food.
All right. Eric says, my question is, how do I become more studly like Robert Sykes? Here's the answer, Eric. When you do squats with Robert Sykes, and when you do leg press and hack squats, and when you work out with Robert Sykes, you got to do full range of motion. You can't be doing this Eric EB half rep bullshit that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's fine. I'm sorry. Eric and I work out together, y'all, and he's a great guy. I love him to death. He's a realtor here in Northwest Arkansas. Amazing guy. But he does not do full rep squats. He does these little half rep squats, and I keep busting him for it. So we're going to get you to do those full rep squats, man.
I keep trying to get Robert to clean up his mouth, and he won't.
All right. Do you know of any doctors in Northwest Arkansas that are on board with keto?
There's a bunch, actually. My gynecologist is on board, and our family doctor is on board. And if you would like to message me privately, I'm not going to hey, this is the doctor we go to.
Yeah.
If you want to message me privately, I'd be happy to share our doctor's information. But honestly, I think more and more are becoming more open-minded to it. It's just a matter of stating, I've been doing this for this long. I feel great. What are your opinions on it?
The camel, man.
the knob.
Yeah.
I often interview doctors. Before we went to our family doctor, I interviewed this person because I wanted to make sure that they were on board with us and not that we were on board with them. I want to make sure it was an even Steven deal, and luckily it was. It was a great fit.
Did we skip one? No. Look at that. Let's see the baby savage. There's the baby savage. He's a savage right now for sure. In regards,
I will. Thank you. Yeah.
In regards to Verda, a very genuine rest in peace to Dr. Sarah Hallberg. About a year before she lost her battle with lung cancer, she had a very harrowing and emotional interview on Dr. Peter Attia's podcast. I have not heard that episode, but I will definitely look that episode up. Thank you for sharing that. He's so cute, has lots of energy like mom and dad. Love your family and your dedication to health and the keto lifestyle. Thank you. We think he's pretty cute and has a lot of energy for sure. All right, y'all. We're going to call that a wrap because he is going berserk. And I got a client call and I got a whole bunch of stuff to do still. So we will catch y'all for the next Live at 5 next Wednesday. Ta-ta for now, y'all. We got a big announcement coming on the Keto Brick side of things. So stay tuned to your newsletter and check out your social media this Sunday. Not a new flavor launch, so don't get your hopes up there. It's not a new flavor, but it is a big announcement nonetheless. So stay tuned for that, and we will see y'all soon. Thoughts on taking the collagen supplement to help with recovery after weight training? Wouldn't really recommend collagen. I would just recommend enough protein, enough total calories, enough fat for energy. I would do like a deload too. A lot of people don't do this, but like a scheduled deload every 6 to 8 weeks would help a lot with recovery.
Yeah, make sure you eat protein in general, but there's nothing wrong with taking collagen. Collagen can be great, but I wouldn't specifically take it right after a workout thinking that it's going to change your world.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Much love to you. Take care. Toodaloo. Ta-ta for now. Hasta la vista, baby.
See ya.